Wake Forest baseball's second game of the season will be against one of the best non-conference opponents the Deacs will face all season. Illinois possesses a very experienced and talented squad with an impressive class of freshmen to complement the Illini's lineup. Last season, the Illini finished with a 34-20 record and 15-9 in the Big Ten, which was good for a fourth-place finish. Illinois was snubbed from the NCAA tournament after a successful season. They were ranked 47th in the RPI at season's end, which wasn't good enough to earn a spot. The 2018 Illini scored 332 runs in 53 games, which was an average of 5.8 runs per game and good for 75th most per game in the NCAA. They also had a good pitching staff last season with 7 pitchers who had a sub-4 era, which included 2 pitchers with sub-3 eras. For 2019 though, the Illini lost an All-American hitter and their closing pitcher, but nearly everyone else returns. Departures: the Illini suffered one very substantial loss from 2018 an All-American and Big Ten Player of the Year and corner infielder Brent Spillane, who was one of the best hitters in collegiate baseball a season ago. He led the Illini in batting average, .389, home runs 23, RBIs 60, stolen bases 16, walks 36, runs 60, and tied for lead in doubles 17. He was a dominant force in the lineup, driving in nearly one-fifth of the team's runs for the year. Illinois also lost a stellar outfielder in Doran Turchin, who hit 13 doubles, scored 46 runs, stole 11 bases, and hit 9 home runs. Both were drafted in the MLB's amateur draft, with Spillane going in the 3rd round to the Reds and Turchin selected by the Orioles in the 14th. Yet, those two were the only significant departures for the Illini from their lineup. Their pitching staff had one big departure after their closer Joey Gerber, 14 saves, was drafted in the 8th round by the Seattle Mariners, but that was it. Righty Luke Schilling was drafted, but he was injured for 2018 and unable to pitch for the Illini. They also lost Jackson Douglas, who did well in limited action for the Illini with a 3.65 ERA over 8 relief appearance and 1 start. Lineup: Final 2018 lineup: CF Zach Taylor, SS Ben Troik, 1B Brent Spillane, * 2B Michael Massey, DH Michael Michalak, LF Doran Turchin, * 3B Grant Van Scoy, RF Jack Yalowitz, C David Cron. Though the Illini lost a dynamic hitter in Brent Spillane, they have a very good lineup with a lot of speed. Outfielder Zach Taylor should return to the top of the lineup for Illinois. The redshirt senior hit .226, but he was second on the team with 10 home runs. He also stole 10 bags and drove in 37 runs. With Spillane's departure, the Illini will need to fill the 3 spot in their lineup, and Taylor could be an option. He has a blend of power and speed, and he had an improved batting average, .277, during the summer for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders of the Northwoods League with 4 doubles and 4 home runs in 94 at-bats while stealing 11 bases. Second baseman Michael Massey could easily move into the 3 spot. He is the Illini's leading returning hitter after a .326 batting average, and he was second on the team in RBIs with 46. The left-handed hitting junior was also rated by D1 Baseball as the best hitting prospect in the Big Ten Conference and 38th overall for the 2019 MLB Amateur Draft. Massey has some good power numbers as well. He tied for the team lead in doubles with 17, led the team in triples with 3, and added 6 home runs. For the summer, Massey was one of 2 Illini to play in the Cape Cod Baseball League with the Brewster Whitecaps. He batted .280 for the Whitecaps in 82 at-bats with 4 doubles, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases. Junior shortstop Ben Troik was solid in the 2 spot for the Illini and an on-base machine. He hit .299 with 8 doubles, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases in 211 at-bats. He walked 25 times and was beaten 13 times, which contributed to his team's second-best on-base percentage of .402. If the Illini move Messi into 3 spot, then they will need someone to step up and be the cleanup hitter, but they do have a solid option in corner infielder, outfielder Michael Michalak. The right-handed hitting senior didn't show off an abundance of power for the Illini with 7 doubles and 1 home run, but he was very productive in his summer season with the Rochester Honkers of the Northwoods League, where he belted 14 doubles and 7 home runs in 247 at-bats. If he can contribute similar power numbers for the Illini, then he would be a solid pick to take over the cleanup role. The question for the Illini is if any of their hitters from the bottom of the lineup can move up to help anchor the middle of the order. Third baseman Grant Vanskoy, outfielder Jack Yalowitz, and catcher Jeff Court spent much of the season in the final 3 spots of the lineup. Court put together the best numbers of the 3 for the Illini with a .262 batting average, 11 doubles, 3 home runs, and 26 RBIs. Yalowitz scored the 6th most amount of runs, 33, for the Illini, and Vanskoy had a .322 on-base percentage and contributed 27 runs for the Illini. Neither had an overly impressive batting average, but they combined for 23 extra base hits. With it stated, it looks like the Illini's weakness may be what the bottom of the order can contribute. Top of the order looks like a dynamic combination of speed and hitting ability, but after the first 4, the Illini lack any quality options due to a lack of depth. Of the returning position players, catcher, first baseman Kellen Sarver could take over a role in the lineup, whether it's at first base, backup catcher, or the designated hitter. Sarver is a 6'2", 200-pound left-handed hitter who redshirted last season. He played his summer season with the Butler Blue Sox of the Prospect League, and he did really well. He had a .253 batting average with 11 doubles, 7 home runs, 29 RBIs, and 29 runs scored. Senior David Cron provides an experience option for the Illini as Court's backup. He played 27 games for the Illini, though it was in a limited role with only 29 at-bats. They have a couple of first basemen who will also compete for that role in redshirt senior Ryan Hoff and redshirt junior Casey Dodge. Hoff was 3 for 15 with 3 RBIs and a run for the Illini, and Dodge was 2 for 13 with 2 walks. Outfielder Andrew Dyke and utility man Tyler Angle provide some depth in the field. Dyke is a redshirt sophomore who had a promising summer season with the Lake Erie Monarchs of the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. Dyke hit .267 in 86 at-bats with 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs, 17 walks, and 17 runs scored. Though the Illini don't have an abundance of experienced depth, they have 3 good freshman position players who could see a lot of time this season. Infielder Brandon Comia is a switch-hitting, slick-fielding shortstop who has good speed, 6.64 to 60, and good pop in his bat, especially from the left side of the plate. Swing from the left side looks more advanced with the ability to create loft to the pull side, while his swing from the right looks more line drive oriented with a middle of the field approach. Comia was ranked No. 367 in the 2018 class, according to Perfect Game, and he hit 2 home runs in Illinois' fall trip to the Caribbean to play local amateur and players from Curaçao and Aruba. Third baseman, outfielder Cam McDonald is a tall, lanky athlete who can contribute immediately. He went 5 for 20 in the team's fall trip to Curaçao and Aruba with a double and a home run. At 6'5", 185 pounds, he has plenty of room to grow into frame, and Perfect Game rated him number 358 in the 2018 class. Lastly, Jacob Campbell is an athletic backstop with a mighty swing who was drafted in the 36th round by the Chicago Cubs. Perfect Game rated him number 130 in the class, which was the highest rated among the Illini freshmen by the scouting service. Recorded an above-average pop time at 1.88 seconds, and at the plate, he produced an exit velocity of 94 mph. He also has some wheels for a catcher with a 6.72 60. Campbell, Comia, and McDonald provide the Illini with potentially productive options that can be plugged into the last half of the lineup. Lineup prediction vs Wake Forest: Zach Taylor RCFB, Ian Troick RSS, Michael Massey L2B, Michael Michalak R1B, Kellen Sarver LDH, Jeff Cortel C***, Brandon Comia S3B**, Cam McDonald RLF, Jackie Alowitz LRF*, freshman with Wake likely going with a righty, whether is Palouse or McSweeney. I think the Illini will try to send 4 lefties to the plate with this lineup. Zach Taylor and Ben Troick should stay in the same spots as last year in the top of the lineup, but Massey is the clear choice to move into the third spot. Michalak hit 18 home runs playing for Des Moines Area Community College and 7 for the Rochester Honkers last summer. He has power, but will he have a more productive season in the cleanup spot than he did last year for the Illini? Sarver's a bit of a bold prediction. He's a left-handed bat who can complement the Michalak in the middle of the order. Court follows as the experienced option behind the plate. The next 2 spots are the highly talented freshmen Brandon Comia and Cam McDonald, followed by right fielder Jackie Alowitz. Comia should get a fair amount of starts this season in the infield. The Illini are limited with their outfield options though. They have just 5 players who can play in the outfield, and McDonald could benefit by moving to the outfield to get more plate appearances. I wouldn't be surprised if the Illinois coaching staff also worked Campbell into the lineup in some way, whether it's as the DH or the starting catcher. Michalak can play the outfield as well, so they could shuffle the lineup a bit to where the bottom third has the 3 freshmen Campbell, Comia, and McDonald, but this would force them to remove Alowitz, who D1 baseball believed to be a day 2 pick in last year's draft before he suffered a prolonged slump throughout the spring and went undrafted. Pitching staff: the Illinois pitching staff is clearly the strength of this team. They have few question marks with the return of their entire weekend rotation in righties Quinn Snarskis and Ty Weber and lefty Andy Fisher. Snarskis and Fisher are seniors, and Weber is a junior. Snarskis had a very good junior campaign with the Illini after he spent the previous 2 years at Division II St. Joseph's College. When the small school in Indiana shut down in 2017, Snarskis was forced to change his collegiate baseball plans and went to Illinois. He ended up becoming the best starting pitcher for Illinois last season with a 6-1 record and a 2.84 ERA in 73 innings with 34 strikeouts, 26 walks, and a 1.22 whip. Snarskis looks like a sinker-slider type of pitcher with a good slider. Redshirt senior lefty Andy Fisher provided some quality innings for the Illini. Fisher started 14 games for Illinois, which was the second most starts for the Illini. He went 6-3 with a 3.96 ERA in 84 innings with 64 strikeouts, 38 walks, and a 1.44 whip. Junior righty Ty Weber started the most games for Illinois with 15. He went 4-3 with a 3.84 ERA in 82 innings with 53 strikeouts, 32 walks, and a 1.30 whip. The starters had good eras, but there's a noticeable lack of strikeouts compared to their innings pitched, which can be problematic. Snarskis, Fisher, and Weber combined for 151 strikeouts in 239 innings, which translates to a 5.69 K9 rate. Illinois' reliance on pitching to contact could come back to haunt them when they play in the friendly confines of the couch. What the Illini starting staff does well is deceive hitters. They won't overpower hitters, but each throw from difficult arm angles with movement on the all of their offerings. The Illini have other options for weekend starting duties. Junior righty Cirillo Wasdone started 7 games with a 4.25 ERA in 29.2 innings pitched with 21 strikeouts and 14 walks. According to David Seifert of D1 Baseball, Watson sat in the 92 to 94 range with his fastball in late September, and he has a curveball at 80 to 82 mph. It would not surprise me if Watson overtakes Snarskis, Fisher, or Weber for a weekend starting spot. It also wouldn't surprise me if he's the starting pitcher for the Illini when they face the Deacs. The Illini have two experienced options for their bullpen in righty Ryan Thompson and lefty Zach Jones. Thompson ate a ton of innings for the Illini and provided a long relief option. He made 24 relief appearances and finished the season 8-3 with a 2.72 ERA in 46.1 innings pitched with 44 strikeouts and 18 walks. Thompson is the favorite to take over the closing role for Illinois. He has good strikeout numbers, which are a plus for players. Zach Jones made 21 relief appearances last season and finished with a 3.86 ERA over 25.2 innings pitched. Jones had the lowest whip for the Illini at an astonishing 0.83, which means he throws the ball over the plate without allowing runners to reach. Righties Quinton Sepsic and Ryan Cutt contributed 16 and 15 relief appearances respectively. Sepsic finished with 22 strikeouts and a 4.32 ERA over 25 innings, and Cutt finished with a 3.79 ERA in 19 innings. They also have Sean Leland, a Louisville transfer who put together a solid summer after subpar results with the Illini. He started 10 games for the Madison Mallards in the Northwoods League and finished with a 4-2 record and a 3.52 ERA. He also struck out 47 over 53.2 innings. Left-handed senior Zach Deverman had a similar 2018 to Leland. After throwing just 1.2 innings for the Illini, he made 12 starts for the Rochester Honkers where he finished with a 5-4 record and a 3.79 ERA. The Illini also brought in at least 3 arms who should contribute immediately. Sophomore lefty Josh Harris brings a wealth of experience from the JUCO level and time overseas. Harris served for 4 years in the United States Marine Corps, including 2 overseas deployments. After serving, Harris attended Kankakee Community College for a season before transferring to Illinois. At Kankakee, Harris was 2-1 with 8 saves and a 3.72 ERA. He also struck out 34 in 19.1 innings with 4 walks. According to D1 Baseball, Harris can reach 90 mph with a good slider. Righty Garrett Acton is the other JUCO transfer who has a reasonable chance to contribute this season. According to Joe Healy with Baseball America, Acton, who comes from Parkland CC, was sitting in the 90 to 91 range and reaching up to 93. Acton had a very good season with Parkland where he went 2-3 with 4 saves, a 2.25 ERA, and 44 strikeouts in 32 innings. They also have JUCO transfer Josh Garner, who D1 Baseball said is a polished right who should contribute right away. Garner also went to Parkland where he went 0-1 with a 9.00 ERA and 6 strikeouts in 5 innings. The Illini have 4 freshman pitchers in Riley Goins, Caleb Larson, Nathan Lavender, and Aiden Maldonado. The prize of this freshman class may be righty Aiden Maldonado, who was ranked 166th overall, according to Perfect Game, and sits in the mid-90s with his fastball reaching up to 96 mph. He could play a key role for the Illini as a reliever against Wake. The lefty Goins has a good arm as well, reaching 94 mph off the mound. Wake may not face him though, with the abundance of experienced arms that the Illini can rely upon. Overall, the pitching staff doesn't have many power arms, but they make up for it with loads of experience. Who starts against Wake Forest will be dependent on the strategy the Illini decide to use for the opening weekend. They'll face an improving Georgetown team on Friday, February 15th, at noon before the Deacs face Sacred Heart. Quinn Snarskis is the favorite to get the start against the Deacs should they decide to use their best starting pitcher, but if Illinois wants to go with a more powerful arm, then Cirilla Watson would be the best bet to toe the rubber.